Alright, hello and good evening. Am I coming through okay? Is my internet holding up? Am I here? Wunderbar. Alright, so we're finally getting into the 8th semester. Is that thing in focus? I don't think this thing is in focus. Hang on. Kind of. Alright, so let me get this light out the dang way. It was a split second. No, God dang it. Which is funny because it didn't say like I was losing frames or anything like that. But yeah, since alright, one thing at a time before we get started. Yeah, this is gonna be, for the most part, the only stream I'll be doing for the foreseeable future, because next week my cousin and her family will be coming here next by Monday, so I will not be streaming. I mean, I probably could, but it's going to be like the situation where my sister's family was staying here because their in-laws had COVID and I couldn't play Doom Eternal with a microphone. That kind of situation. If you want me to do that, then by all means, but otherwise I'm not going to stream. I'll probably just be playing Space Marine the entire time. I feel like that'd be a little bit of a win-win situation. Anyways, so yeah, looks like the wheel has spoken, and we're finally getting into the 8th MS team. Will we put on 8th MS team? No, I'm gonna hold off on doing that when we get to the Master Grade RX-79G. So for tonight, it's just gonna be chill. We're gonna have some lo-fi music. I don't even know if it's on. I know it's playing for the VOD, but I can't hear it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn off the VOD music, and I'm just gonna have whatever lo-fi music I had playing on there. But yeah, we're saving that for the OVA arc, which is going to have both the 8th MS team and War in the Pocket, because I'm gonna be doing the RX-79G and Shiro's configuration or markings, and then I'm gonna do the Master Grade NT1 Alex when we get there. But that's in the future. So right now we're kind of in our little filler arc where we got this, and then we've got, after this we'll be doing the P Bandai Master Grade Heavy Arms Kai, and then after that one we got the RG RX-78 version 2.0. Looking forward to that. I am going to be getting the third-party Fat Cat 1/100th scale upsize of that. I won't stream it though, but I sure as hell want it. Where the hell is that music? I was just looking at it. What the hell is it? There you are. Okay. So yeah, we got ourselves the Easy 8. It's actually one of 2 8th MS team high grades that I have, and this is actually going to be the first of several. This isn't even out of the plastic. This is fresh out. Oh, for those of you who watched, what's that show called? Doc shows it all the time on his channel. It's like a Japanese drama about a girl who gets back into like building Gunpla or Plamo. You can't find it anywhere like local. You gotta do some weird shenaniganery. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, this is gonna be the first of several because I want to make a diorama out of this. This and two other Gundams for Sanders and Karen. And then I have the Groove Custom down here, which was also on the wheel. And I'm going to be making I probably might get a Zaku as well and make a diorama out of it, because I'm crazy like that. So we got, what is this? I think this is the parachute pack. I do not see parts for a backpack another. Yeah, this is a parachute. It's a parachute pack. So it doesn't have the weapons backpack like the other Gundams would. That's okay. Got ourselves a beam saber. We got a few stickers here. That's fine. I'm going to find. I don't have water slides for it. I will get some just so I can get the markings. So yeah, how's the music, by the way? Is it drowning me out? Or sure? Are we good? That just fell. Open the box. Caps, different polycaps. Not a whole lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. 9 runners. That's not bad. Not like a master grade right now. That's fresh out of the plastic. Get that whiff of that fresh plastic crack. Excuse me for a second. You might want to look away. I don't know if there's gonna be abuse of substance. Smells good. Oh, it's a parachute strap. Interesting. Okay, so they actually like it's not cloth. It's like plastic. It's like plastic film. Okay, so this is a Harvey runner. Yeah. Let's stand you up. This is C1. Some of these is like for the shoulder. I think this is an ankle. So yeah, the idea that I had for nobody saw that. You probably heard it. The idea I had for the diorama was that it would just be the, oh, there's some, what is that? Stickers for dry transfer. These are full-on stickers. Okay. It's not a whole lot, considering it's in high grade, but yeah, I'm gonna find the water slides for this and the rest of the team. Cause yeah, I want to do the diorama, and the challenge for that is one, getting the rest of the. Where is that frickin'? I'm gonna use this. Smaller runners. The trick is one, finding the kits, because I can't find the regular RX-79G in high grade, and it's harder even more to find one that has the GM head. And what I've seen, that one is P Bandai only, and they haven't had a reprint for a few years. So I might have to kit bash, assuming I can find a Ground Gundam kit. I'd get 2 of them, and Probably should have gotten the GM for the 8th MS team. Let's see, this is C2. Kill Hall. And that's it. Handful of runners, not a whole lot. We got the Beam Saber. Probably won't do Beam Saber because I want to do the. It's got the machine gun. It's got a Beam Saber. And I think that's it. Oh, it's got. Wait, is it a beam rifle? There's a machine gun. That looks like the scope for the beam rifle. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's the parts for the beam rifle. Okay, but we're gonna give the EZ8 the machine gun, and I was gonna give Karen's GM head the beam rifle, whereas Sanders' ground Gundam has the whatchamacallit, the cannon. And then Chicken messaged me. There are so many tryhards in that Gundam game. I can't do anything that they pull off. Oh, you're probably dealing with a whole bunch of like raid type mobile suits because those ones are annoying. They're stupidly cracked up close. So this is step 50. That was step 1. That's step 1. Like, I hardly ever go up close for melee. The only time I ever do that is if they come at me first. Because most of the time I'm just shooting people with the beam magnum or beam rifle. I mostly play unicorn. Okay, where are my tools? Got this and this. So how is everybody's week/day? Luckily for me, it is not hot anymore, or not as hot. It's definitely rainy. I prefer that, this stupid ass heat, too. Let's see. Be putting battle damage on these things. This and the master grades. Polycap question. Somebody would have to look this up for me. Is there a master grade of what is it? The goof flight type. I think it's called the flight type. It's either high mobility or flight type. Is this the one that shows up in the little modern episode short of 8th MS team battle in 3 dimensions? It was a cool looking Xeon suit. It's one of the few Xeon suits I like, honestly. That's just me. Sorry, I'm a fetty. Shallow? Oh, it is. Okay, so there's supposed to be a gap there. Okay. Tonight, I'm good. I am good to go. How the hell is this supposed to go here? There we go. Haha. Am I still here? Y'all are quiet. You got me concerned. Okay. You guys are quiet. It's like I didn't disconnect and think I'm still on, am I right? You're fine, you're fine. Okie dokes. cover up all this cool like dribbles here with this. Okay, I guess. Guess we're going to like battle damage this or something. Oh, moving on to something else. See. I'm gonna get the rest of it. This is a much harder plastic. Just a little bit concerned. 2. Bumping into the dang microphone. I'll move it over. Hang on. Swing it around. And do that. Hopefully, that'll help. Y'all can still hear me, right? I moved the microphone so it's at a different angle, so I'm not constantly bumping into it. Hopefully. Oh, okay, I see what it is. Okay, so this hard attaches to the back, and then this is just the hinge. May, hello. Thank you for the stretch. Actually, yeah, I'm starting to shrimp after like 50 minutes already. We'll take another coffee break. About to go to bed. Just wanted to say hi. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing okay. Actually, you know what? Let me give you a quick shout out. Because May is also a fellow. Know how to freaking do it right. There we go. May is also a fellow Filipina builder who actually I started watching her when she started painting a Warhammer, like it's not a fig, it's more like a it's an orc, and it looks really really cool. And she follows like the rest of us, like Rue, Doc, a bunch of other Filipinos who do like Gunpla, Warhammer, a lot of like miniatures and minis and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know if I can do it right there. You go. Yeah, check her out. I think she's in relatively the same time zone. It's like stateside, I think. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, we're gonna. That's. Thank you for stopping by, May. Hope you're doing okay. Hope your Friday's been chill. I'm just hoping I don't accidentally cut my finger on this hobby knife. Alrighty, you have a good night, May. Actually, I think she could probably give you some good tips on doing like painting and weathering. I think her and Ebo could probably help you out, especially when doing the diorama. Where'd the music go? It's still going. Got like 15 minutes left. Plus. Why is it quiet? That's not it. Where's the... Oh, there you are. Yeah, not too long after starting to build streams last year, more and more I'm finding out that there's a lot of Filipinos that are doing Gunpla and miniatures. Doc being one of them. Rue's another one, actually. She just started. She started about like a few weeks ago. And she's like, that was her second kit. And she's building the freaking master grade tall use flugel. I was so jealous that she managed to get it. She's over in the Philippines. I don't know how she managed to get that. That's amazing. But yeah, she got me hyped for when my tall use flugel comes in, which should be this month. It's May, or not May. I'm sorry, it's August. Where am I at? June? January? 2024? What am I doing? Yeah, the Tolkies should be shipping soon. Oh yeah. And I think the Moonlight Butterfly for the Turn A is shipping in September. Excited for that. I think it comes with its own stand, so that'd be cool. Alright, so this goes like this, and this goes upwards. Goes upwards. Oh, that's as far as it goes, okay. Why is there like a big old gap here in the back? Hang on. There we go. Where's the click? There's supposed to be a satisfying click. I didn't push hard enough, that's why. Alright, so yeah. If the EZ8 had it, this is where the weapons rack would be attached to, but no, it doesn't have it. It has the parachute pack. I don't even think it had the ammo pack or the weapons rack for it was in that episode. Ads be starting in 5 minutes. Prepare your butts. Or just think about what snack or drink you're gonna get. Maybe whether or not I should get the master grade for the EZ8 just for the sake of having it. But I don't know. Because I'm really hopeful on the fact that Bandai does 2.0 kits for the 8th MS team stuff. Possibly hopelessly hopeful. Because it unlocks in. My guess is that when the weapons rack is on here, this opens up and then this attaches like that to hold it in place. Interesante. Just gonna keep it like that. It's a chest. Try not to spill it this time, dumbass. It's the eyes. What's the background of this one? It's black and gray. We'll do the stickers for now, but when I do the water slides and battle damage and weathering, I'm gonna take this apart. I'm actually gonna paint in the head and stuff. Lopsided and dirt. Oh, never mind. We fixed it. We fixed it. We're fine. It's not derpy. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Did not look derpy at all. I just hope the sticker stays. Looking at you, Double O. choose color in that one. Dovahkiin, hello. How you doing? The sticker on there is just gonna come off. Panel light this thing. Nothing's off. What you been up to? Oh. Okay, we're fine. We didn't loot. Oh, that would have sucked if it fell into the vial. Hang on. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't fly off the tweezers. Is the music over? I think the music's over. Nope, it's still going. It's still going. Oh, because it looped around, that's why. Hey, you know what? Let's change it up. Somewhere off where I can't find it. I'm gonna let you sit while I work on the arms. Okay. connects the shoulder armor. Anything else? That's rough. You should be fine. Looks like it's just connecting all the parts. You can be sane. So just clean up the nuts. Make sure it's not going to impede anything. Shoulder pieces and all the caps. They want to be naggy, but your mic is always quieter than music. I think it's mostly because my microphone is pointed away. Hang on. How's that? I could turn it down just a little bit. How's that? Also, it doesn't help that I have noise reduction on because I do have my fans going. So if I'm mumbling, there's a good chance the microphone might not pick it up. It's probably because like, oh, stop mumbling. Sorry. That's how I speak sometimes. That's how I talk to myself. Is better? Alrighty. Anyways, what are you up to? You building anything tonight? I was just admiring my first 30. Oh, nice. I've never built the 30-minute missions. How was that one? I've seen a couple kits in like the Hobby Lobbies or the Hobby Town. I was going to take its upper torso, try to model it in Blender. Bravo for you, I cannot do Blender. I gave it a try and just like, okay. So props to you for pulling that off. Are you gonna make a 3D model of it for something? And going on with Gundam Pilot Academy 7. Going to be creating. Interesting. Actually, I do have an interesting question about the 30-minute missions kits. What scale are they at? About the same size as an HG at like 1/144th scale, or? And if they are they kit bashable with any other high grades? Basically, 30-minute missions was created by Bandai with no real purpose. They don't have an anime or anything. Yeah, I know. I figured that much. It's just like a fun one you can be able to build. But I've seen a lot of like accessory parts and stuff on that, like accessory kits and like weapons and armor sets, and like the kits kits themselves have a bunch of like little holes you can be able to put additional stuff on there. Just put armor kits on them. Okay. Just made me curious, like, how much can you kit bash these things if you really, really wanted to? Like, I'm pretty sure it's going to take some extra work and probably a little bit of research. But I guess it's the way you're describing it is it probably might not be doable. Some of them are the same size as HGs. So probably might have to be like a little bit extra work, a little bit of putty here and there. You probably could make it work, question mark, but I don't know. I've yet to see anybody just like go completely nuts with kit bashing 30-minute missions with a high grade, or real grade for that matter. Get really creative, man. I've seen some pretty crazy stuff. Personally, I was going to create my own tabletop game with them. It's the end. Okay. We're talking like a Warhammer style kind of tabletop game, or? Not really sort of BattleTech. But with the kits. Gotcha. Actually, I'm trying to remember what was the Mike showed me. I think it's kind of Warhammer-like, but it makes use of people who have like a bunch of high grades or real grades, especially for 1/44th scale. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I think it's called like Gundam Skirmish or something like that. It's not a at least I don't think it's official. I know it's like a homebrewed kind of like fan-made game or something like that. Look that up. You might get some ideas out of that. I think it's called Skirmish. Oh, there you go. Mecha Top and Mobile Suit Gundam Skirmish. There's one called Gundam Assemble. Assemble is coming out soonish. And those are Warhammer scale. Is Assemble the one that comes with the card game, or? Assemble is smaller than BattleTech. Card game is separate, okay. Because I know the announcement for the minis and the card game came out like pretty close together. So my brain is like processing is like, oh, they're both for the same thing. I don't know. Feel free to correct me on that. But yeah, that Gundam Skirmish one that Mike showed me is might take a gander. Card game is separate. That has no media. Okay. I don't know why my thought processing led me to believe that they're going to be like connected somehow. Don't really like taking Legends of Mother against people. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, it'll show you what. I wouldn't say it necessarily taking ideas, but I see where you're getting at. But it wouldn't hurt to see like what has been done. Where'd the other one go? There you are. I lost a couple frames at some point. I think I'm still here, since you guys are talking to me. Or am I hallucinating all this and the mushrooms getting to me? Listen, this coffee's good. I like it. And that's the last of it. Oh, that had a lot of grit in it. I need my water. Hang on. I mean, it's good until you get to like the last drink or two, where a lot of this like the mix that didn't uh didn't dissolve, settling at the bottom. So you're getting a lot of mushroom stuff in the bottom. Now is that gonna make me zooted? I don't think so. I don't think it's supposed to make me zooted. And for those wondering, no, I will not get zooted on stream. I'll get drunk in the Lost in the Sauce or the Kurosawa run, but that's about it. I don't want to do that. Sorry to dash any possible hopes, chicken. Oh, Mike, since you're here now. You remember Luis, right? She's the Warhammer player that tried out Gunpla and loved it. Yep. Where the hell did it go? There we go.
When we
She asking about me wishful thinking. I'll hang on. No. But would you settle for her building the PGU? All right, hang on. Let me fix this cropping here. Note to self. Remember all these numbers down so I don't have to worry about this. All right, here we go.
we talk about the most hard-hitting, awe-inspiring, and biggest miniatures in the whole of Warhammer, we usually think of kits like the Gargantuan Squiggoth, Smaug the Dragon, and of course the array of hulking Forge World Titans, where the smallest one could cost you over £500 and the largest could set you back close to £2,000, depending on your preferred Titan loadout. But if you're willing to spend the money and you have the time to paint them, then you too can be one of the prestigious few to own some of the coolest and most impressive miniatures in the entire hobby. And sure, some people may laugh at you and your expensive chunk of resin at your local hobby shop, but we know better, don't we, Stampy? I love you, Stampy. Here, give me out. That is a very sharp Squiggoth. No hug. No hugging the Squiggoth. Nope. But recently, both me and it seems a lot of you guys too have been getting into a new hobby. A new, big fighting space robot shaped hobby. But if you're a bit of a newbie like I am, then you're probably wondering the same thing as I did, which is, what is Gundam's Warlord Titan? Like, what is the Gunpla kit, which is so big and cool and impressive that it makes all Gunpla fans in the world collectively go, hell yeah. Well, it turns out that that kit is the RX-78-2 Perfect Grade
$220.
Unleashed. That's right, baby. Unleashed. This bad boy currently retails for around
She did say Smaug,
£250, and
but not the Lord of the Rings Smaug.
Gunpla's most perfect kit, it's also one of the biggest, most detailed, and flashiest Gunpla models ever made. With a 5-stepped phased build, real metal elements, every accessory a fighting suit could ever need, and it even has a fully functioning LED system which comes with the kit. And of course, I'm here today because I got it! Yay! So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys a full review of this absolutely titanic Gundam kit. From the unboxing experience, the full build, and also my final thoughts on if I think this perfect take on a legendary mobile suit is worth the price. I didn't know they had a license for her. And also all of the hype. Creaky chair. Creaky whoosh.
It's probably really expensive though.
So before we start, I want to put my cards on the table here because I know I just bigged up how expensive this model kit is, but I ended up paying exactly £0 and 0 pennies for him. What? Because I actually won him. Accidentally. Let me explain. A few months ago, Bandai invited me and some other lovely people to a kind of creatory meetup that they were hosting at Comic-Con, and just a little shout out to Bandai UK here because they're always so nice and they really make me feel welcome at these events even though I'm kinda new to the hobby. Anyways, whilst we were there, they had a couple of activities lined up for us, such as a demo of their new card game, a chance to display our GBWC entries at Comic-Con, which was awesome and I absolutely loved that, and finally a little painting competition. We each got given a tiny Gunpla-kun kit to build and customize in 40 minutes, and I painted mine to look like it was made of wood with all these little green accents to match the kind of eco-pla theme that I was going for. Anyways, time ran out and I was just chatting away and admiring everyone's work, completely unaware that there was any judging going on, but then they called out my name and everyone was like clapping and I was overwhelmed, and it turned out that they had picked my little wooden boy as their winner. So I walked up expecting a handshake and they handed me this, and yeah, thankfully absolutely no footage exists of this moment because I was really sweaty and overwhelmed and a nervous wreck, and I think I possibly cried as well. I don't know, it's all a bit of a blur, so have a dramatic recreation with an Urgling, I
would
guess.
too if I
but
wanted
either
to
way,
PG
somehow, even though I still consider myself to be somewhat of a Gundam newbie, I now own one of the biggest, most detailed, and most expensive Gundam kits on the market. So I guess let's get right in and start with the first thing you see when you get this kit, the box.
The box is fucking huge.
As you may have noticed, it's huge and very, very heavy too, and it's so big in fact that the box has this very handy little briefcase handle at the top. And maybe you can already tell through my camera lens, but this looks like a super high quality luxury item already. The box art is amazing on this dark background, and it really looks like a fancy little step up from most of the other Gundam boxes out there that I've seen. Turning the box around gives you a detailed look at some of the exclusive features and gimmicks which sets this kit apart from basically every other kit on the market, including the 5-phase Gunpla Evolution link system, the real metal components, and of course the working LEDs which are included in this mammoth kit. But more on those in a little bit, because it's time to crack this bad boy open. Finally. As you can probably tell, unboxing this fully on camera was a bit of a nightmare and a little bit tricky due to the sheer whopper of the situation at hand. And as soon as you slide the little box out, you are just hit with the scale of what you're about to undertake. Like, holy mother of Shar, that is a lot of plastic. And this isn't even all of the runners fully laid out, and it's already taking up my entire new studio floor.
Sweet Christmas.
And when you consider that each of the bags you see here has like 2 to 3 sprues
for additional
in it, and
context,
each of those
Chicken,
sprues are
this is the same
pretty
kit
damn
that Adam
packed.
Savage built.
Yeah, you can imagine I was already feeling a little bit overwhelmed here. Once I had calmed down a little bit and put all the
And
sprues
he had
back in
help.
the box, the
He had like
next
3
thing
other
I
people
reached
helping him
for
with this.
a little bit of guidance was obviously the construction booklet, which as well, surprise, surprise, was huge and absolutely beautifully printed too. In the first couple of pages, it gives you a
but this thing
detailed
is
rundown
nutty,
of the
and
kit,
next
its
year they're coming
features,
out
and
with
what to
a
look out for
PGU
as you're building
the,
it.
the new Gundam.
Specifically, this phased build Gunpla Evolution link system. But Louise, what is a phased build Gunpla Evolution link system? Well, I don't know. Sounds cool though. It's kind of hard to explain, but it turns out that instead of just getting the job done as fast as possible, with this kit you build it in specific phases, which seem to kind of guide you through how each layer of this mobile suit would work in real life. In phase 1 and 2, you build up the suit's skeletal frame with all of its intricate and articulated moving parts. In phase 3, you add in the metallic truss frame, which will be visible underneath the armor. In phase 4, you start to build up all of the external armor, you add in some decals and stickers, and you make it look like what we'd recognize as the RX-78 suit. Then phase 5 is simply called effects, and I'm calling this phase the play with your toy phase because it kind of just encourages you to pose your model and enjoy the biggest number of opening hatches in the history of Gunpla. Good lord. And then after that, the rest of the 65 pages are all construction booklet, baby. But fortunately, I'm a gal who just really loves building miniatures. So let's start at the very beginning with phase 1. I'm not gonna lie, starting this kit was a little bit intimidating, but also really exciting too. And from the get-go, there were already a couple of things which were blowing my mind that became obvious in this very first phase. Firstly, the construction booklet and the sprues themselves absolutely slap, and weirdly they kind of work together to make this kind of scary task as easy as it can possibly be. Before you start building any part of the model, the construction booklet lays out which sprues you're going to need at the beginning of each section, telling you not only the number of the sprue, but also the color and even what section of the sprue you're going to need to assemble this bit. But my favorite part, and again this is going to be quite hard to describe, but the parts on the sprue are almost laid out how they would go onto the miniature. The parts for the left arm are on the left, the torso parts are in the middle, and so on. But if this wasn't enough, there's also little illustrations on the sprue to help you work out which parts belong where
What?
if you get a little bit lost. Like, look at how cute this little picture of a torso is for the torso area. That's amazing. Anyways, back to the build itself. And I think because I've been building Gunpla for nearly a year now, I already kind of take some cool stuff for granted. Like the fact that everything here is push fit and the push fit just works, and there is absolutely zero glue needed needed in this entire kit. But in the first phase, there were a bunch of these cut it off the sprue and it's a fully working and moving part pieces, and they never ceased to amaze me. And even though it was just phase 1, I was already blown away by all of the moving parts. All of the details like the working pistons in the ankles and wrists, the sculpted details on the plastic, plus all of these gorgeous shiny metallic parts really made this guy feel like a real shrunken down mobile suit. And to my surprise, it was all actually relatively easy to build as well. Like, sure, it's pretty complex and I guess part heavy, but not necessarily difficult. Just a little bit time consuming, but in a super fun, meditative way. And speaking of which, by the time I'd finished the basic skeleton, I realized that I had kind of built phases 1 and 2 at the same time, but looking back at the instructions, there's not a huge difference between them, so I'm not mad about my little wombo combo approach here. And here's how the model looks after you've completed phases 1 and 2, and already you can tell it looks absolutely amazing and so detailed and articulated, but here's the catch. This alone took me 2 days to build, and I don't mean like 2 days just doing a couple of hours in my spare time. No, I mean this took me like 2 full working days to build. Whenever I'm cutting a piece off the sprue, I'm spending an extra 1 minute at least removing all of the nub marks as best I can by carefully using a very sharp craft knife and some glass files to make each piece absolutely perfect. And I guess maybe that's like a little bit extra, but I really want to take my time here and make this kit look as good as I can when it's done, because it's worth it and it's expensive as fuck. So with phases 1 and 2 complete, it's time to move on to our building day 3 and also phase 3 of the model. Not to jump the gun too much, but this phase ended up being maybe my favorite phase of all, partially because it was super quick and easy. Phase 3 is just adding these big detailed metallic truss frames to the already existing skeleton in order to kind of dress it up a little bit and make it look more cool and detailed and stuff, but yeah, it was not difficult or slow at all. In fact, this phase only took up around 4 pages of the book, and I managed to get it done in only a couple of hours. And I think the results after you finish this phase is one of the coolest things about this entire build. What you get after finishing phase 3 is the most detailed looking mech suit skeleton I have ever seen. This was such a rewarding step, and it just had so much depth and detail and articulation, and as you can see, I just ended up fawning over this part of the build for a very long time because I kind of didn't want to cover it up with the armor. I felt a little bit sad that I'd be moving on to the next step, and a part of me wanted to leave it like this, or maybe do some sort of like half and half split down the middle thing, because it just looked so cool all stripped down to its core like this. But alas, it was time to say goodbye to my sweet naked robot man and get ready for day 4 and phase 4. Phase 4 is basically the draw the rest of the owl part of the entire build, because in this step you're doing everything else you need to do to make this suit look more like what we'd recognize as the RX-78 mobile suit. And this sounds easy, right? There's not much left to do, just pop on some armor panels and decals,
if you got the money for it.
Most of the model is done anyway. Right? Well,
that being said, I probably might do it for the RG/Fat Cat.
This is where I actually started to really slow down and concentrate, because I knew that in this phase especially, the quality of the build was about to show big time. And I'm really glad that I ended up spending a bit more time here, because trust me, this phase is pretty awesome. Here, even more so than in stage 1 and 2, you realize that basically everything is a little peekaboo window. Like, all those moving parts before have little moving doors and windows to go with them, so that even though you're covering up the mecha skeleton, you still get to open up hatches all over the body to have a little peep at some of the coolest parts that you assembled. The color separation as well in this stage is fantastic. Remember that during this build, other than using a pen to touch up a little nub mark here and there, I'm not touching any paints or brushes at all. There's two subtly different tones of white and red and even yellow on this guy, which helps make this very bright and primary colored scheme look a lot more intricate and detailed. And after about 5 hours of sanding and fitting, he was fully armored up and finally looking like the RX-78 Gundam. But just when you thought you were done and you were finally on the home stretch with your 1,000 empty sprue pile, you look over at your leftover sprues and somehow there's still like 12 left. Oh my god, when does it end? Well, it turns out that because obviously this guy is the fanciest little weapon of destruction in town, that he has a bunch of accessories, and yeah, I still had like another 4 or 5 things left to build, so let's go. The first thing I built were the beam sabers, which I chose to do first because they were super duper easy, and then I moved on to his beam rifle as well, which surprisingly had like 100 moving parts to
How
it too,
big that thing
including the little trigger, which was just awesome. The shield, in my opinion, is one of the most visually impressive accessories in the whole kit, just due to the absolute scale of the parts that you are cutting out and putting together. And again, there is just an unnecessary amount of little gadgets and doohickeys attached to this piece. And my favorite bit is the little window shutter here, which goes up and down. It's just so extra. But I think the best accessory that's included in this kit has to be the little core fighter plane, because it's essentially like a mini Gundam kit in of itself. So this entire fighter plane that I'm building here can replace the little core block, which we already built back in phase 1 and 2. And as I was building it, I didn't really understand how. Like, this plane seemed pretty big and elaborate with its pull-out cockpit and relatively large wingspan. I was thinking, do I have to remove the wings and the tail fin in order to fit it in the body or something like that? Because that's no fun. And then I finished it and I looked at the instructions, and to my shock, the whole thing just folds up into itself
So much
to
more
make
detailed
a
than
core
the
block,
MG
which
3.0.
you can pop right into the mobile suit's body. And I know you guys are probably going to be sick of hearing this at this point, but the engineering, once again, has blown my mind. But now that I finished the main mobile suit and all of his accessories, it's time to move on to making this guy seem a little bit more intricate and detailed using stickers. Now, I'm really skeptical about the use of stickers. I've built a few Gundam kits with stickers in it before, and I usually opt to just paint it instead of using them. So I was surprised that this
Same.
very expensive kit came with stickers instead of something like water slide decals. And part of me kind of thought that maybe I would just leave him like this and not use any stickers at all, but I'd spent this long on him and I wanted him to look complete, and all of the motifs on the artwork really did make him look cool, so I grabbed my tweezers
Outdoor
and I
water
decided
slides.
to give the stickers my best shot. I started as the instructions guided me with the 3D metallic effect stickers, and they were honestly so nice, and they just fell into place. They were thick and durable, and they felt more like sturdy plastic parts than actual stickers. And when you're done putting them in, they catch the light so nicely, and they already make this kit look a lot more pricey. And when it came to the other non-3D effect stickers, again, I'm pleased to say that I was actually really pleasantly surprised. These stickers are super high quality, and it turns out they're really easy to apply too. And when they're on, it really doesn't look like there's stickers on there at all, especially on the white and gray areas. On the darker parts like the blue-black back piece and the red parts where it's a little bit more detailed, you can
Ryujin has a few of
kind
those.
of
Oh,
tell a
the
little
classic,
bit more that
the
there's stickers on there, and things can
for
look
like
a
the
little
windows
bit
and stuff.
messy on closer inspection, but even here on the red shield, I'd say that the sticker looks pretty great. And when I was done with all of them and I had carefully placed every single one in its exact correct position, I was super glad I stuck it out and gave them a go, because the end effect does look amazing. The final step, and maybe the one that you've all been waiting for, is to finally put the LEDs in this suit.
I
And
want to
a
see.
lot of people have asked me this already, so I just want to say that yes, this kit does come with its own LEDs. But when I opened up the packet of LED materials to start building, I realized that for the body at least, batteries are not included, so
Oof.
I had to hop online and order some and wait a few days for them to arrive. Anyways, the Beam Saber does, however, come with a battery and was extremely easy to install. The kit comes with a secret third saber hilt, which looks exactly like the other ones, except it's got a little LED inside. You unscrew the bottom, put the battery in, put the bottom back on, turn it on with this tiny little switch on the side, and bam, you have a fairly impressive lighting effect. The battery, which is included with the Beam Saber, does say that it's a test battery, so I have the feeling that it won't last very long and that maybe it could be brighter with a better battery, but for now, I'm super happy with this result. I had heard, however, from a few other people who have built this kit that apparently the LED system inside of the body is a bit of a nightmare to install. The main component to light up the eyes and the chest area is this tiny little unit here, which I found quite surprising given those two areas are pretty far apart from each other. And once your batteries are in and you've tested the lights, you pop off your guy's head and then you place the lighting component into his chest cavity. In order to activate the light sequences, you have to pull out the chest hatch and then push it back in very specifically under 1 second. Anything more than just 1 second and the light sequence turns off,
It's
which
quite
means
complicated.
you have to be pretty accurate and a little bit forceful to get the lights to work. But once I'd worked it out, it honestly wasn't that bad at all. I just feel like it could have been designed somehow a little bit easier. But despite the kind of clunky switch mechanism, the effect that the LEDs have, I think, are well worth the effort. Because just have a look at those freaky, spooky,
That's
glowy
cool.
effects. They look so good, and the whole thing just kind of elevates the kit to the next level. And speaking of which, with the LEDs now thoroughly in place and after a full week of building every single day, this bad boy is officially complete. So let's take a look at the finished model and talk about some of my final thoughts on the project as a whole using a few rating system categories which I've made up just for this video. The first thing I'm going to rate this kit on is how easy it was to build, but also how much fun I had building it too. And for both those categories, I'm going to give this guy a solid 9 out of 10. I had an amazing time building this perfect grade Unleashed kit, and yeah, with all of its stages and details, it was an extremely enjoyable journey too. And like I said before, it was phenomenally easy as well, given the absolute scale of the project. The instructions were clear and the pieces all went together, and honestly, I've built more frustrating Lego kits in my life. I'm deducting just 1 point here because of the sheer amount of time you have to commit in order to complete this project. Like I said, this whole project took me a solid week to finish. So whilst it was technically a relatively easy build, it is a very big task to undertake, especially if you're a stickler for details and finish quality like I am. So I'm not sure I'd exactly call it the most beginner-friendly build in the world, but would I recommend it to anyone who enjoys building model kits? Yes, I would. It's amazing. Next up, let's talk about one of the most important parts of any Gunpla kit, and that is its posability and durability. And I'm going to be giving this guy an 8 out of 10 in this category. As we saw during the build phase, this dude is packed with joint sockets and a ton of moving parts, so it's absolutely no surprise that he is also extremely posable. And even when fully armored, he moves absolutely beautifully. The joints are nice and firm and kind of stiff, but in a good way because he is a weighty little beefcake and his firmer joints are perfect for holding up his body weight and those heavier poses. But just a quick heads up, if you are planning on getting this kit yourself, the top half is very, very heavy, as you can imagine, and the waist joint isn't super secure. I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong or if it's supposed to be like this, but the waist doesn't exactly clip into place on the hip section, and it can just drop off quite easily because of gravity. So I really recommend just separating him into two parts, posing him up first, and then putting him together upright. And I just recommend also being a little bit more careful than usual when you're moving him around and posing him and stuff like that, because I don't like the chances of that V-fin on his head surviving a very heavy drop from desk height. But that being said, once you get used to handling him, this whole thing is a total blast. And I'm pleased to say that unlike some other kits that I've built, he stayed impressively in one piece whilst I was posing him, with only one little bit falling off his arm whilst I was being a little bit too rough posing him, which is totally my bad. To my surprise, there aren't any posable fingery hand options with this kit, but you do get a great variety of hand options as a kind of trade-off, with open hands, closed fists, and weapon holding options too. So I didn't really feel like there was any pose beyond a couple of rude gestures that I was missing out on. And after a whole lot of fun and playing around with different positions, I eventually settled on my final kind of display pose that I wanted to keep, which is this menacing dual weapon shield on back pose because it looks really spooky and menacing. Nice. And speaking of which, our next rating category is aura and aesthetics, which is basically how cool does the kit look? And he is absolutely getting a 10 out of 10 in this category.
Nice.
Obviously. I mean, just look at him. He looks absolutely like the coolest thing I have ever seen in my life. I think the sheer size of this model meant that the designers could really go ham with kind of laying out the proportions of the RX-78 suit as they should be, and honestly, it makes him look really scary, as he should be. My personal favorite kind of representation of the RX-78 suits and Gundam suits in general is definitely the White Devil sort of spin, with them being these freaky, powerful, psychically attuned killing machines lurking in the darkness of space. And this kit gives me that big menacing vibe more than any other I've ever seen. But that aside, the kit itself as well is just so cool to look at, and each piece is incredibly detailed, and the scale of all the details too just makes this guy feel even bigger. I think if I spent another couple of days panel lining him, he would look even better, but honestly, I don't really feel like I need to. And right out the box, this guy really is the absolutely terrifying jewel in my entire Gundam collection. Finally, we're gonna rate what I'm gonna call the extra bits, which are essentially, I guess, just the features and gimmicks on this kit, which makes it stand out from other model kits. And for this, again, he is getting a very high rating of 9 out of 10. If the RX-78 is your favorite suit, or you just like cool Gundam kits in general, then this guy has everything you could ever dream of, with an incredibly detailed inner frame, uncountable moving parts and little windows, the ultimate little fighter plane inner core, and of course the insanely engineered weapon loadout. The weapons in particular are awesome, and the gun shield and core fighter especially felt like little miniature kits in themselves, which was just awesome. But I do wish there was just one more LED beam saber option so that he could dual wield them, but I guess I'm just being selfish and a little bit greedy as well, because let's face it, I'm just grateful to have one. I love that this kit included them as well, and it definitely gives the whole thing an extra little something that makes it feel more worth the 250 plus price tag. But of course, let's remember that I didn't pay anything for this guy, so take from that what you will. But I guess in conclusion, as a longtime Warhammer fan and as someone who has only relatively recently gotten into Gundam and Gunpla, I have to say that this entire experience absolutely blew my mind. It's actually been such an incredible trip and experience, and the end results are so amazing that I've sort of struggled to make this video and to put all my thoughts into words. So I hope that seeing this whole experience from
All that
start to
thing is
finish
next to the
has
Zaku.
kind of helped you guys see what I saw, which is that this absolutely slapped. So even if you're new to the hobby, then I do highly recommend that you pick this kit up, especially if you are a big fan of incredible looking model kits. But if you do pick them up, just make sure you give yourself a couple of days to let your fingers recover from pushing together that much plastic. Oh yeah, and make sure you have a display shelf big enough to fit him. Whoops. But I'm afraid that is all we have time for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, thank you for being rogues. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Bye-bye.
If by somehow I get the PGU, that's gonna take a long time. A marathon stream. It's just be like a milestone stream. And remember, the new Gundam is coming out next year, and that thing is bigger. That thing's taller. It's got the fin funnel wing. That thing's gonna be nuts. I think that one's gonna be like 500-ish. Somewhere around there. That's a lot. I don't know if I'm ready to spend that kind of dosh. Like the most I've spent was all the stuff for Wing Zero. And I think that's probably close to the same price as the perfect grade Wing Zero. I'll buy a Steam Deck for, yeah. I'll buy a new PC first. I'm perfectly fine. The RG 2.0. And the Fat Cat. Actually, let me show you the Fat Cat. Hang on. Speaking of ungodly investments, started buying Red Dragon and Nice. Do you just have the base game, or did you get any expansions? I bought a few of them. Trying to refresh it, see if this works. Okay, yeah, this is a It's essentially the RG 2.0 that I have that I'll be building soon, and a company called Fat Cat pretty much just took that kit and just upscaled it to pretty much a master grade size. And so many people have bought up this kit, and I need to get it before it gets sold out. And it comes with a whole bunch of other extra stuff that you wouldn't get it on the regular kit. You'd have to buy it like P Bandai kit or some extras around there, because it doesn't have the hammer, it doesn't have the super napalm. I don't think it has the hyper bazooka either. This one has 2 of each, and I think it also has the beam javelin as well. I don't know if it has its there are water slides for it. I think it does. I think it comes with its own like dedicated sheet of water slides.
Walker told me I have AIDS.
What? Random? What? No. Oh, Walker, Texas Ranger? I mean, I've seen a couple episodes, but...
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Watch it on stream after this. Oh, an actual chain for the hammer. Oh, it does have water slides. Cool. Most parts are indicated. Cut points are quite thick. Be careful with cleaning and trimming. because it has the super napalm. I was lazy to use water slide decals. I mean, it still looks good without him. Kitty. What's really just the same as already 2.0. More solid, less scary, less scale. Self-scale. Batman had an extra bazooka, bent beam saber, meteor hammer, napalm attachment, beam javelin, extra core fighter. Jesus, two of everything. Beam javelin. Straight beam saber, bent beam saber. The hammer. The real chain. Oh, there's two versions of it. Four point five. Yeah, all of that is cheaper than the RG. That's nuts. I think it's about like $40, give or take. PGU. It's up to the waist. So what is this music? Is this Mega Man music? Let's see what this video is. Nope. Is that Haley Joel Osment?
Seems so much shorter than a week, but in some ways, a lot longer.
I know what you mean.
Hey there! Welcome home!
It's okay, Aunt Alex. I'm a man now.
Oh,
That is Haley Joel Osment.
thank you.
That reservation still standing? Barely.
And how you doing, little partner?
Fine. And it's little visitor now. Attaboyoli's how you say it in Cherokee.
Oh, well, pardon my French, but I'll be damned.
Walker told me I have AIDS.
That's how it ends? It just ends on that? That's about as bad as what was it? What was that one movie that's trying to be like E.T.? It's like, I'm trying to remember the name for it. The name escapes me. And Doc uses it for as a clip redeem all the time. But it's like this. It's like pretty much just like the same story of Mac and Me. Is that the one? Because it had the clip of the kid in a wheelchair trying to talk to the aliens, and then one of the sheriff's deputies trips and fucking shoots him. Is that the one? God, the first time I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Is that real? That can't be real. Listen, Mac, me. Oh, yep, that's the one. What is that alien design? That's disturbing. Yeah, he had like an edit of it. Kid falls into the lake on a wheelchair. Yeah, Doc had an edit of it where, like, as soon as the kid gets shot and dies, it just rolls the credits. Like, just like that's it. Like that's how the movie ended. I was like, what is this movie? Oh Lord. Alrighty. So I'm gonna clean this up. You fall and curb your enthusiasm. So we got the upper torso, and then all we got left is just the waist and the legs. So I think we'll do all that in next session. Will probably be not next week, but the week after. But yeah, we got so far of the Ez8. Love it. It's one of my favorites. Like, I'm seriously considering getting the master grade for it. I'm debating whether or not to get the one that's out, or is it worth waiting to see if Bandai will ever do a 2.0 of them? Ugh. I might just get both, anyways. But yeah, that'll be it for tonight. We'll put a pin on this, and yeah, I have no idea when I'll be streaming at all next week. I'll let you guys know. But until then, thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you have a wonderful weekend / rest of your weekend, or rest of the week next week. There we go. And yeah, whenever I do come back, we'll be sticking with the schedule. Hopefully my internet holds out. Looks like my internet held out tonight, thank God. I think it's mostly because it's cooled down. And yeah, we'll, fingers crossed on getting back into Bioshock Infinite, Warhammer 40,000 bolt gun, and more of this. Till then, we'll be continuing with more. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing next after that. I think it was pretty stable with a few minor hiccups. It's fine by me, as long as it's working, as long as I stay connected, and when I actually am connected, I'm aware of it, and it's not losing half the goddamn stream, thinking I was online, but really I wasn't. But anyways, thank you all for joining me tonight. Like this stream, you can head on over to the following links. First link will take you to the Lazy League Discord and be able to find the rest of us, such as Oh Hey Mike K, the Bat Gwyn, Gum Dr. Gray, and many others in our circle who also stream. That's cut off, isn't it? I just noticed that. I think it's just because of the text size. Anyways, that's really good for the chat. Anyways, where was I? A lot of fun stuff that goes on over there. Watch parties, like Mike and I will be hosting Lazy Anime Block tomorrow afternoon for a 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Batwin will be hosting a movie watch party Sunday night. Which one was it? Edge of Darkness, I think that he's doing. Yeah, Edge of Darkness. And yeah, he's got that. Don't know when I'm going to be doing Star Trek. I think I'll probably give it another week or so. Edgy Darkness, yeah. Yeah, let's catch those. The second link will take you to the sister site for this channel, where you can be able to find the rest of, find more info on other upcoming streams that I have planned, as well as my archive of all the past streams that I've done. And if you got any questions, comments, concerns that you would like me to know about, or any suggestions that you might have me for future Let's Plays of Retro Nights or Let's Build, you can head on over to the contact page and shoot them out to me over there. Alternatively, you can scroll down below or off to the side, depending on which platform you're watching from. I just freaking remembered. Hang on, is it in here? I don't remember if I turned it on or not. No, it's not, because I don't think I... Yeah, okay. So I did add a new sounder. It's not active yet because I still need to put on the message, and I'm still looking for a GIF to go with what you say. I'm open to suggestions. Also, I'm going to be cutting the prices in half for all the channel points redeems. So, enjoy. I think the only one that's going to stay the same price will be the Kampai drink redeem when I do Tsushima Revisited, just because. I'm going to put a cooldown on that as well. I think the cooldown is still, I think it's like 20 or 30 minutes. I'm not trying to get hammered, I'm just trying to have fun. Anyways, yeah, sister site, scroll down below, off to the side, depending which platform you're watching from. You best not let me abuse that. Depending which platform you're watching from, to find the Blue Sky link to also reach me, other links, other streamers, other links to help support the channel, and other streamers who aren't connected or affiliated with the Lazy League. They're just ones that I like to watch and follow. Check them all out whenever you can. They're all great. Shout out to Dovahkiin and Maynot for stopping in. Catch them, or at least May. I don't remember Dovahkiin's streams or not. I don't think he did. But yeah, I will catch you guys whenever. Till then, take care. Love and hype. Life is good. Good night, everybody, and I will see you when I see you.